10 high-profile celebrity arrests. Even the biggest stars can get into trouble with the law, from red carpets to handcuffs. Over the years, shocking arrests of famous people have made the news, leaving fans speechless and putting jobs at risk. But what caused these well-known people to get in trouble with the law? Stay tuned as we show 10 of the most famous people who were arrested. Which stars broke the law? Can you guess? Number 10, Shia LaBeouf. Throughout the course of his career, the controversial actor has been involved in a number of confrontations with law enforcement. But the year 2017 was probably the most famous for him. An intoxicated Shia LaBeouf, who was in Savannah, Georgia to film The Peanut Butter Falcon, approached a stranger and a law enforcement officer in the early morning hours to request a cigarette. LaBeouf was there to film the movie. During the time that he was being detained, he asserted that it was due to the fact that he was white, and he stated that the cop was going to hell because he was black. The actor from Transformers was found guilty of obstruction, given a fine of $1,000, placed on probation for a period of 1 year, and required to participate in therapy for the management of anger and dealing with substance misuse. Number 9, Lindsay Lohan. The Mean Girls star experienced a significant change in his life during the spring and summer of 2007, but it was not a positive change. In that particular year, you see, that was the first of several encounters with the law enforcement. In addition, she was detained for driving with a suspended license and for possessing prohibited substances. A plea bargain for misdemeanors was accepted by Lohan in the month of August. She was had to serve 10 weeks of community service, complete an alcohol education program that lasted for 18 months, spend 1 day in jail, and be on probation for a period of 3 years as part of the terms of the agreement. The reason that Lohan was freed from prison in November was because of overcrowding. She had been there for an incredible 84 minutes. Number 8, Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart Living was the perfect show for you if you were seeking for a show that would make you feel cozier. Including topics such as gardening, cuisine, and other topics, it was crucial in making Stewart a well-liked figure. However, it was not until the early 2000s that it became public knowledge that the media magnate had engaged in insider trading. In 2004, she was facing a number of allegations, including obstruction of justice and securities fraud, which would eventually lead to her prosecution. At the end of the day, Stewart was judged to be responsible for multiple felony offenses. She was given a fine of $30,000 and also served a term of 5 months in jail. Subsequently, she was on supervised release for a period of 2 years. It seems likely that Stewart was able to make some friends within the organization, as she was given the nickname M. Diddy. Number 7, DMax. This New York rapper would be in the running for an award if there were a category that recognized musicians who have been involved in the most court fights. Over the course of his life, he has been accused of a wide variety of offenses, including robbery, animal cruelty, and the use of illegal narcotics. Restitution in the amount of $2.29 million was also required of him. DMax was released from prison in the beginning of 2019, and he began a period of 3 years of supervised release. However, he passed away in 2021. Number 6, Robert Downey Jr. An entire movie could be made about this Marvel Cinematic Universe actor's life, from his struggles with addiction and arrests to his rise to the role of national treasure. Downey was engulfed by addiction, and it appeared that nothing was working for him as he struggled with one problem after another. During the year 2000, he was taken into custody at his hotel room in Palm Springs, California, while he was under the influence of alcohol. After being released on parole in 2001, Downey was discovered strolling around barefoot and was subsequently arrested once more. Despite the fact that he was released, the producers of Ally McBeal eventually decided that it was the last straw and dismissed him. Downey entered a plea of not guilty to the allegations for Palm Springs. He did not end up in jail, but he was sentenced to 3 years of probation and was required to attend rehabilitation. In a later statement, Downey stated that this particular moment was the catalyst for him to realize that he required assistance. Number 5, Ezra Miller. There have been a lot of allegations that have been brought to light regarding the Ezra Miller controversy, which is one of the most significant current scandals in Hollywood. And it all began with a detention that took place in Hawaii. At a karaoke bar in March of 2022, Miller was performing. It would appear that they were furious when other customers began singing, and they started insulting them shortly after. Additionally, Miller lunged towards a person who was playing darts. Miller was taken into custody following allegations of harassment and disruptive conduct. Next, in the month of April, Miller went to a house party that was held in the same state. When they were asked to leave, they reacted in a furious manner by hurling a chair at the head of a woman, causing a cut to appear somewhere on her forehead. The charge of assault led to Miller's arrest. They entered a plea of no contest to the accusations brought against them by the karaoke bar and were fined $500. Number 4, Michael Jackson. The former member of the Jackson 5 had a turbulent personal life that was full of rumors and accusations, despite the fact that he was widely regarded as one of the greatest pop artists of all time. Following the release of the documentary Living with Michael Jackson in 2003, the authorities initiated an investigation into the musician known for his signature song, Thriller. In 2005, Jackson went to trial, where he was accused of committing crimes such as extortion and child abuse. A lengthy court case that lasted for a total of 4 months was watched by people all over the world. The majority of the coverage in the media was criticized for giving the impression that Jackson was already guilty. All of the accusations against him were dismissed in June after a trial. On the other hand, additional allegations that have surfaced since his passing in 2009 have continued to generate inquiries concerning his life and legacy. Number 3. R. Kelly. Since the 1990s, the R&B singer has been accused of sexual assault despite the fact that he has been praised for his music for a considerable amount of time. It wasn't until 2019 that Kelly started to suffer actual consequences despite the fact that she had been the subject of countless civil lawsuits and criminal proceedings. The singer was charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual assault in the state of Illinois shortly after the documentary series Surviving R. Kelly was made available to the public. A few months later, while he was out on bail, he was eventually taken into custody on federal counts of several sexual offenses as well as obstruction of justice. His conviction on 9 counts resulted in a sentence of 30 years in jail, which was handed out in June of 2022. In addition, Kelly was found guilty in Illinois on 6 of the 13 charges that were brought against him during the month of September. Number 2. O.J. Simpson. Americans were captivated to their television screens in June of 1994 as the actor, who had previously played in the National Football League, led a police chase throughout the state of California in a Ford Bronco. Following the discovery of the bodies of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman, Simpson went on the run attempting to avoid capture. In the end, he was apprehended and presented with a trial. On the other hand, in 1997, he was found to be responsible for the battery and death of Goldman, as well as the battery against Brown. He was sentenced to pay the families a total of $33.5 million. According to reports, he has only paid a small portion of that amount up to this point. Meanwhile, he has been incarcerated for a total of 9 years for the crime of armed robbery. Number 1. Bill Cosby. Over the course of several decades, the comedian and actor Bill Cosby was known as the father of America. In the year 2015, everything fell apart. At the same time that comedian Hannibal Buress made reference to allegations of sexual assault against Bill Cosby in 2014, further allegations began to surface. There have been approximately 60 women who have accused Bill Cosby of sexual misconduct, violence, and assault, most of the time after having given them drugs. In 2015, he was taken into custody, and in 2018, following a mistrial, he was retried and ultimately condemned to a prison term ranging from 3 to 10 years. Despite this, the conviction of Bill Cosby was reversed by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania in 2021 as a result of an agreement that had been reached between Cosby and prosecutor Bruce Castor in 2005. If you want more exclusive stories about your favorite stars and their biggest controversies, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss out on any of the drama. We've got it all right here.